Can't believe we didn't record all of our puns. All right, so we are recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SWE's Get It Together Workshop. Get it? So let's get started. We're gonna learn some awesome Git tools and things like that today. It's gonna be great. So to start off with, we just want to introduce ourselves, just so you know we're credible. We're talking about Git. So hi, I'm Caitlin. Just like we were talking about earlier, I used Git for the first time through ACM projects, and it's kind of evolved from there. As it says here, I became a Git god, though, during my internship. Let me tell you, trying to do Git with a bunch of other people full time, you'll figure it out pretty quick. So hopefully this will make all of that easier. Katie.
Yeah, I'm Katie. I also learned Git through ACM projects. I was also a project manager, so I ran the Git workshop twice, not to flex on Caitlin here, but and then I also used Git in my internship. It was super helpful going into my internship with some Git knowledge, and then it definitely improved over time. But it's really great you guys are here to learn it now. And then I also used Git when developing the SWE website, and our new website committee is also using it. So great skill to have.
So it's just a great way to both learn code and share code. So that is why Git is so important to learn. So Git is version control software at its core. So what that means is you have your whole project, you have a bunch of code. You are changing that code, but anyone who's coded realizes that you could go and change something and everything breaks and you have no idea what's going on. So that's what's great about Git, is that you save checkpoints along the way. And we'll talk about how this is done, but you save checkpoints along the way. And then when you're working, if something breaks or goes wrong, you can always jump back to these checkpoints. So it saves you a ton of time figuring all this stuff out. And then also Git has been expanded into almost a social network through GitHub. So you can host your code bases on the cloud. So better for backup, and it makes all of your code shareable. So that's kind of where the open source revolution is coming in, is that everyone's sharing their code everywhere. So you can go read other people's code, you can use it, you can bring it into your own projects. It's really, really amazing. So being able to use this tool really opens up a huge world of opportunities for learning and coding.
Yeah. Do you want me to do? All right. So she kind of covered a lot of this already. It makes collaborative programming so much easier. When you go into your first internship, you're going to be in a company with sometimes, hundreds of people working on the same code bases. And doing that can get really complicated really quickly if you don't have a good system for keeping track of all these changes and all these different features being added at the same time. So pretty much every company, I'm assuming, uses Git. And there's different variations of Git. There's, GitLab, GitHub, GitKraken. There's a bunch of them, but all companies use some version of it. Just speaking from my own experience at State Farm, the code base I'm working on, there's typically like 50 branches on the same project at a time, just all these different developers working on the same project. But we never run into too many issues with, people overwriting other people's code and things like that, because Git is so good at keeping track of everything. And yeah, I can't imagine how software development would work without Git, honestly. I really don't know how you would collaborate on code. I know we joke like in ACM projects about using Google Drive for code, but that just wouldn't work, because Git is super intelligent. It has all these extra features that make it something more than just saving copies of your code, but it also helps you merge code together. And we're going to go into all of this later, but Git just has all these extra features that make collaborative programming so much easier. And then, like Caitlin was talking about with open source code, it's amazing how much code is available for free on GitHub, and how you can incorporate that code that's already been written into your projects. So you don't have to, rewrite the wheel every time you're developing something. It's really made programming so much more just collaborative across, with other developers from around the world, all contributing to the same code bases. It's really cool.
Yeah. And also really fast, I did see a hand up. Feel free to raise your hands anytime during this if you have questions. I did see one. Sarah, what you got? You can unmute and yeah.
Sure. Hi. Thanks for this. It's kind of weird, but I don't see the chat.
Oh, okay, Maida, do you want to go? Because you'll just need to be added to our team. Maida, do you want to go take care of that?
Yes, Sarah. Are you connected with your UT Dallas email address? Just wanted to
Yes,
double.
I am. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I will add you.
Okay, thank you.
Sweet. So that should be fixed in just a bit. Thanks for raising your hand and letting us know. So, okay, so the first part of Git, and this is, please follow along with us while we're doing this. But the first part of Git is installing Git. So here is the link.
Oh, I just sent it in the chat.
Way ahead of me. Yeah, so on there will be a download. It's pretty straightforward. There'll be a few questions, but most of the defaults are fine. Just to kind of get on your machine. So really fast, if we want to take like literally like a minute just for everyone to go click on that, get it started, let us know if there are any like huge issues. And well, yeah, just a minute. And then also if you think you already have Git, go check. And we'll show you how to do that in just a second.
Yeah, but you definitely want to participate in this one. It's so much easier to learn when you do it hands-on rather than us just telling you a bunch of Git commands. Otherwise, you'll get lost. So definitely don't be shy. If you're having trouble, let us know. We want you to participate. And we're going to have a fun little activity later where we're all going to use Git. It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on, but please keep downloading Git and making sure that it is on your machine. So we're gonna get into using Git. So the best way to use Git is with the CLI, and that's what you're downloading right now. So we'll start with the Git keyword, and then move on from there into all the more to the actual stuff, but like Git is your keyword of choice here. So that's what we'll be using in this workshop. That's all the commands we'll be going over is all on your favorite CLI, Bash, PowerShell, whatever, all works. But that's what we will be using. So to get started, you'll only have to do this part once, but you will identify yourself to Git so that it knows how to identify all of your commits and things that you make using git config. So this is what the lines will look like. And like I said, feel free to do this with us, but if we need to hop around later, oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, so this is what the commands will look like. You'll only have to do this once. So if you've already installed Git, you've probably already done this, but make sure to get this in here so you can identify all of your commits and save some errors later. So that's the first thing that you'll do.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't able to do that, let us know. Like Git could have like not installed correctly. So I guess maybe like if you're caught up, like give us an emoji in the chat so we know like you guys are here. We don't want to go too fast. I'm not 100% sure how long it will take for everyone to install. So yeah, if you're able to run those commands without any errors or react to the messages, I guess, with like a thumbs up so we know you got there.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Cool.
All right.
David has a question? No? All right, cool. Salman, question?
Oh, yeah, I had the previous slide.
Yes.
Is it like git config -- global and then you put in your actual username then .name?
No, that's sorry, yeah, this one slide was not, yeah, it's exactly user.name. Sorry, I guess this one doesn't like have the brackets that we're using later. But yes, it's user.name. It's not your username or anything like that. It's user.name, and then you put your name in the quotations.
Okay, so there's quotations when we put our name, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Shreya, question?
Yeah, I'm not able to access the chat either.
Okay, I will be right on that. Which Shreya is?
Shreya, I don't want to butcher your last name, but Nagumala. Did I get it? Okay.
Okay, cool. I will add you, Shreya. In the meantime, I just want to double check since I am on. Sarah, are you able to access the chat now?
No, I still can't see it. I did see the message that you sent me, but I still can't. I don't know if I have to like leave and come back. But I was just gonna wait to like leave and come back and try it in a little bit.
I think that would
no.
be perfect if you could just leave and come back and let's see if you have access then. If
Yeah.
not, just personally DM me.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, and maybe we could just do anyone who can't access the chat, like raise your hand now, because I feel like we probably have quite a few who can't. I'm hoping because no one's reacting to the chat. So, okay, yeah, it seems like
There are a few. Okay. Let's see if we can get this remedied.
yeah, just because I want us to be able to, it'll be helpful if you guys can react to messages so we know if everyone's caught up.
Okay, so Prisha, Shreya, Joseph, and then Salman. Okay. Cool. I will add you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. And Luz, by any chance, are you using your UT Dallas like email address by any chance? Okay.
This is Joseph. I am not.
Okay, Joseph, thank you for letting me know. If you are a UT Dallas student, could you use your UT Dallas ID? I think it would make it a lot more easier for us to add, to provide you access, because I think UT Dallas has a policy where UT Dallas students can see the chat.
Yeah, and for those of you who can see the chat, if you can react to that message, if you had no problems setting your config
Sarah
up.
got it.
Great. Okay. Cool. Just pause here for a second.
Yeah, I don't think I have a UT Dallas email anymore. It's been a while.
Okay.
Okay, not a problem. If anything, just feel free to unmute yourself. If you have any questions or concerns, and Katie and Caitlin can surely help you. But I'm sorry about that rule that UT Dallas enforced about that. So we still want you to still participate, but just feel free to unmute yourself.
Sure.
All right, so is anyone having any problems getting their configuration or installation? Do you not know where to access command line interface? Like any questions? Don't be afraid.
Git bash.
Hmm?
Is it git bash?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
you can use that.
On Mac, you're just gonna want to open up like your terminal, but Git bash is best for Windows.
You can also use PowerShell or anything like that, but Git bash tends to be the easiest because it's already all connected up. So
yeah, but you're also able to just use just your typical like command line, whatever, or PowerShell but with Git bash, like it'll highlight everything like different colors, so it looks nicer.
Exactly. Prisha, question?
No, I just was having the issue with getting.
Oh, the chat. Oh, I think
Oh, sorry.
I already added you.
Yes. Thank you for that.
No problem. Okay, sweet. So does everyone pretty much have Git set up?
Yeah, definitely don't be shy if you don't. We don't want to like go too fast for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a quick update. Wanted to let you know that I just added Salman to the thing. So Salman, if you could, feel free to like leave and rejoin again, just so you have access to the chat. Prisha and Shreya, you guys are both already a part of the our team's account. So are you guys not able to even see the chat at all, or?
I'm personally not able to see any messages. Like you guys said that you posted the link on the chat. I didn't see that. I think I can chat though. Let me see if it works.
Okay, yeah, we see your message.
Yeah, you just can't see ours.
I guess that's the issue.
Should I try resending the messages real quick just to see? If not, I guess we'll just have to, or yeah.
Can you see that test message?
I got a notification of a message sending in, but I can't see it. I can see it on my phone, but not on my laptop. I
Weird.
wonder why.
Why is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Teams
So-
is. Maybe you can try opening up like Teams in another window with like just the chats. I know sometimes that could be a thing. Like if you open the Teams app like on another screen, you can see chat on the side, and maybe you just open it from there. I'm not sure if that'd make a difference, but.
So Prisha and Shreya, I just sent you both like on a separate chat the links.
Yeah.
So if you guys are able to see that, I can just personally just send you the links, like through the chat icon on the side when Caitlin and Katie posts it. And if anything, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any specific questions.
All right, that works. Thank you.
All right. I guess we can move on then.
Sweet.
Just to get through everything.
All right, Katie, take it away.
Yeah, so the very first Git command we're going to teach you, besides just the config, is git clone. So this is pretty much the command you're always going to start with when you're cloning a new repository. And repository is just a word for a collection of code stored with Git. So when you clone something, it takes all of that code and saves it locally to, or downloads it locally to your computer. And it's also going to be connected to that repository. So you'll be able to push code up using Git. I realize I'm using a lot of terms I probably shouldn't introduce quite yet. But what you're going to do when you run a Git clone, you're basically going to see the code appear from that repository. So we actually have a repository for you to clone here. Looks like Caitlin just sent the link. So this is the repository we're going to be working in, and it's stored in GitHub. So you're just going to clone that repository to your local computer with that command, and it's going to download to whatever directory you're in. So you can see your directory like in your terminal or Git Bash or wherever your PowerShell. That's going to be like right before the command. You can see your location in the file directory. So if it says desktop, it's going to be stored to your desktop. Yeah, so if everyone could run that, and you should see like a bunch of like downloading, it's going to say downloading things. So if you see that, you know you did the right thing. And if
Sweet.
everyone can react to that message that Caitlin sent once you're finished with that command.
And if anyone's running into issues, raise your hand and we'll figure those out. And also, after, just to avoid confusion later, after this, after the clone happens, change directory. So do CD into the Get It Together directory. So that way you can, that way you're in your repository and we can start doing Git stuff in there. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so you could just get any kind of reaction when you guys get that. When you guys get that, I should say.
In here, well, okay. Oh, I did put a slide for this. So yeah, so you'll see a directory with the same name as a repository was created in your working directory. So CD into that directory. Now once you get into that directory, run this command ls-a, and what you'll be able to see in there is everything in that directory, including hidden files. And something you'll see that's really cool is the .git file. So that file, I think it's actually a folder, right? Keeps track of metadata for your repository. So that will keep track of all the changes you've made, what those changes are to what files, and they're all saved in these fancy little objects called diffs that are like, it's just exactly what it sounds like, differences. So you're not saving new versions of a file every time, you're saving what's different. And that's kind of what makes Git really powerful. And so that you never will have to actually look at the .git file. Just don't, it's fine, you won't have to. But you should know that every Git repository on your machine will have a .git in it. So that's how you can tell.
Yep. So the other, I guess, really important concept that you need to understand within Git is branching. So branching is when Git becomes really useful, especially for collaboration. So branching is when you create a separate copy of the code that when you modify, it doesn't change the master branch of the code. So the master branch is going to contain, well, if you work in a company or something like that, the master branch is always going to contain working code that's fully functional, it's been tested, all of that. But let's say you want to add a new feature to code. So if you're working on a website and you want to add a new page, you can create a branch of the off of the master branch, and you can add your feature. So you add your page, and the master branch won't be changed as you're making those changes. So it's totally okay if you break the code, and it won't break the code for anyone else if they're working on a different branch. And then what's really cool is that once you finish your feature, so if you kind of look at that little graphic we have there, so you have this branch, you come off, you work on all of your feature, you finish it up, and then you're able to merge your code into the master branch once it's fully working. So you're able to make these changes without worrying about breaking the code for everyone else, and then you can merge it back in with the rest of the code base, and everyone else will get your updates once you do that, but they only get your updates once it's fully working and you've decided to merge it in. So that graphic kind of shows, you have two separate copies of the code for a little bit, then you finish up your new feature and you merge it back in and you're back to one copy of the code. And you can have tons of different branches if you have tons of developers working on different features. And Git is super intelligent when you merge things. It can tell exactly what you changed, exactly what you deleted, what you added, and it will help you merge everything together without overwriting anyone's code, which is really cool.
So here are the commands to make branches. So we have a question. Amrutha, is that how you say your name? Please tell me if it's not. But it is cool. Amrutha. So sweet. So Amrutha asked, what is the difference between branching and forking? So branching is a Git concept. Branching is very similar to forking, but branching is specific, forking is specific to GitHub. Branching is taking branches on one repository. Forking is copying a repository to your account. But of course, in Git, so Git and GitHub are different, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. In Git, you don't really have this idea of like repositories moving owners and stuff like that. Like that's not really a thing in Git. In GitHub, it is. So in GitHub is when you copy code into your account. And so it's a little bit like branching. It works a little bit similarly in some ways. So I totally understand the confusion, but like branching is specific to Git. And so that's where you're going to make a branch off of one repository. Forking is making another repository. It can be used like a fork, or it can be used like a branch, but a fork is a whole copy of the repository. Branching is done on one repository. That's kind of the difference. Does that make sense? Yeah, sweet. So yeah, so these are the commands to do branching. So git branch will tell you all the branches that are on your repository. That's kind of like doing an LS for your branches. Git checkout -b will both, so git checkout will open up a new branch, or we'll tell your Git to start using a new branch. So we'll move you to a new branch. The -b tells it to create a new branch with the name. So yeah, so I feel like I said that weird. Git checkout -b will make a new branch. Checkout uses an existing branch, just like it says here, new branch, existing branch. So what all of y'all should do is make your own branch so that we can use it later. But yeah, so you guys should be doing the git checkout -b with a new branch name that's unique. So like maybe put your name or something like that in it. Yeah. So, okay, so now we have our repo, we have our fork, oh, it's not fork, haha. We have our branch, and now we're going to, so Salman, so I think that means that you need to CD into your repository. So so you'll do CD and then it'll be called Get It Together. Yes, thank you. So yeah, so that will hopefully fix that. That's a mistake that I make all the time where I'll like not realize I haven't done it and I'll be like, what? I'm in a Git repository. But no, you need to CD into the folder and then that's the repository. So so yeah, while we're doing all this, please feel free to go make some changes to your repo. I know, Katie, do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So if you look at the index.html file, you'll see that there's a card in there with some information about me. So that was like my sample card. So you can really copy from where it says like sample card begin to sample card end. You just want to like copy that and paste it where it says add your card here. Then you can change it to having info about you. So you can just put like your name, like a fun fact or whatever. And if you want, you can like put a picture in there. You don't have to. If you don't want your picture, just delete the line that includes the image. And then once you make that change, you can make sure it went through all right by clicking on index.html to make sure you can see your card appear on the screen. And then what's going to happen is we're all going to be creating these separate cards, and we're eventually going to all merge them in. And we're going to have this whole collage of all of our Sweesters who get it. Yeah. So if you haven't worked with like HTML before, all you have to do is copy that sample code I have there and just modify, like you'll see where I have my name, where I have my little word. If you want, you can add your own page. I have my own page in there in the pages folder. But if you don't have time, that's also totally fine. That's just if you want to be a little extra like I was. But it looks like we have someone raising their hand. Let me see. Sarah?
Yeah, just what was the last command? It was git branch with a name. Is that what it was?
It was git checkout -b and then your branch name. So are you not, wait, are you one of the people who can't see the chat?
It's so weird. It's like just not updating. So if I like leave and come back, it's like update. I don't know. It's a little bit of a disaster. So yes, I guess I am.
Okay, I wonder if I could, but yeah, we're using the git checkout and then -b and then whatever your branch name will be. So you can call it Sarah. I'm gonna see if I can maybe message you the command too. Let me see.
And while we're doing that, if you want to kind of see me do what Katie was talking about, I am now doing it as y'all can see, but just let you know that's what I'm doing while everyone else is working on it, and we make sure that Sarah can do it and everything like that. So, so sweet. That's just what I'm doing right here.
And if anyone has any questions about the web aspect, I try to make that simple, but if anyone has questions, let me know.
Oh. Ooh, do I have?
Hi, can you make your program window bigger?
Sorry, say that again. Oh, can I make mine bigger? Yes, but I will have to hop out of this. I used Vim during my internship and I think I lost it all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Can't remember how to copy and paste. So we'll just open that up. But yes, let me see. Wait, what is it in Windows?
Oh.
Let me see. Does anyone know how to make a PowerShell window bigger? Oh, cursor size, perhaps? Nope, nope.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're going to right click on the top bar, and then you're going to see something to the effect of properties. And then from there, I think you will be able to
Make the font size bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, very big. Okay, cool. Y'all can see it now?
Yeah, much better. Thanks.
Yes.
Awesome. Sweet. Okay. Or wait, no.
Yeah, so right now she's going to show you how she's changing the website to add her own contribution. Oh, now it's small again.
Yeah, sorry. I think this one though we can just do.
Yeah.
There we go. So, okay, I opened this up in VS Code because I couldn't remember how to do Vim. Should have looked it up. That would have been so cool. Okay. So I see the sample card. I'm going to take this, add it right here. I'm going to pick, let's see, my name. Add some stuff. And I'll also get rid of this because I do not have a page. But if you guys want to create pages, please feel free. Just do this, but put it in this, folder, and then make sure to change your href here.
Yeah, because this is going to be available like on the internet. Like we're going to keep it up if you want your info up there. So like it could be fun, like, you know, have your own little page. I can actually post the URL of like what's live now because it's just me. It's kind of lonely. But so if you want to be like extra like I was and add a little page, you can. Because we're hosting it using GitHub Pages. So yeah.
Cool. And so now I just saved it. Now I'm going to close all of this. And so now we'll see that, by the way, my face is going to look the same as Katie's. So it's going to be really entertaining. So I did not add a photo for myself either. But again, please feel free to do that. And just keep putting
if you don't want a picture, you can literally just delete that line as well. It won't break anything if you just completely remove the line with the image. Yeah. Oh,
Sweet.
It's gonna be sad if it's just my face on there. I'm gonna look like a narcissist.
No, it'll be great. It'll be beautiful. But y'all put your pictures. I just don't want to go and open up my file system and all that stuff. So now I have changed my index.html. I've added my card. And if you do, we'll talk all about this thing in like the next slide. But if you do in Git status, you can see all of the files that you've changed. So we have changes not staged for commit. Talk about all of that in a bit. But we have files not staged for commit. We have modified index.html. And then if you guys added pages or pictures, you'll see more things in there. But for me, I just changed index.html. So okay. So let's see. If there aren't any last minute questions, we'll get back into the presentation so that you guys can push your code up.
Yes, the exciting part.
Yeah. Take it away. Oh, I
all right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was finished. Yeah, so Git status, what that does is it shows all of your changes, additions, and removals in your folder. So this is just all the files that were changed, pretty much. And then Git log will show all of the commits done on your repository that you have updated with, and then your repository is updated with. So, and we'll talk about what commits are in just a second, but like Git log will show anyone who's changed the repo that you're working on before you will all be shown under Git log. And so you can use that too. Now take it away.
All right. So now how are you going to actually add your code to the repository? So there's 3 steps you have to do every time to push code to a repository. And you have to do them in this order. It's pretty particular. I think you can answer that, Caitlin. So the first step is going to be adding the files you want to add to your commit. So typically you're going to want to add all of your changes. So you can do that with git add -- all or git add space period. There's another way. That's going to add every file that's been modified or added or deleted is going to be added then to your commit. Sometimes when you've made changes to a lot of files and you only want to commit changes to one file, you can actually put git add and then send the file name. But in this case, we're going to want to pretty much add all of our changes, I'm assuming. So everyone's going to want to use that command that's on the screen. So once you've chosen the files that you want to add to your commit, you actually have to make the commit. And what a commit is a commit is when you've made a change to your code and you commit it, that's saving that version of the code with Git. So you're going to want to commit, like good programming practice is to commit often, even if the code's not fully working. Anytime you make a change that you might want to go back to later, you want to commit it so you have it stored. Because I'm sure we've all had those moments where our code's working and then we just like add a comment and all of a sudden it stops working. So by committing things, you can revert back to that previous version, which is really nice. So for me, like anytime something is like working in my code, I'm like, okay, I'm committing it so I have it and I don't lose it. I do that a lot with like school projects and stuff. Like, okay, it's committed, like it's all good. Then I make changes. You're also going to want to add a commit message. This is so that you can, when you want to revert back, you know what change you made in that commit. So an example of like a commit message would be like git commit -m added my card to the homepage or something like that. And a lot of people will do not very descriptive commits, which is not good programming practice because then when you want to go back and you're like, oh, like what was that change I made? Or I want to go back to the previous thing. And all of your commits are just like git commit, like added file, added line of code. Like when they're not descriptive, it's really not helpful for anyone. It's especially useful to have good commit names when you're working, with other people or at a company. Having commit names tells other developers you're working with what exactly the changes you made were. So it's really helpful and just good practice to get in the habit of writing good commit names, commit messages. So that's the format for that. And then once you've added, I lost connection for a second. I'm back. Okay. I was like scared, like my screen just went black. Can you guys hear me
Yes,
now?
you're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you were frozen for a second, but you're back now.
All right. Great. So yeah, when you push code, that's pushing up to the repository. So the first time you push though, you're gonna get a message that's gonna say like set upstream origin. So if you see that, don't worry. That's what always happens. Oh, it looks like someone just sent that in the chat. Yeah. So what that means is that it doesn't have anywhere to push to because that branch name has not yet been pushed to our repository. So what you're going to do, if you see that, you're going to copy, they're going to give you a command and you can literally just copy and paste that. That's what I always do. I can't, honestly, it's going to say like git something, set upstream origin. I don't remember the exact syntax because I always copy and paste it. But the first time you commit to a branch, you're always going to want to have to run that command because that's going to add that branch name to that repository we have in GitHub. Because otherwise it doesn't have anywhere to push to. But yeah, what pushing typically does is it just pushes it up to the branch of code that's actually in either your GitHub repository or whatever, if you're using any other kind of repository hosting service. Of course, in this case, we're using GitHub. So that's commands you should need to be able to push your branch to our repository. Let's see. So, and Marissa, if you can try running the command and see if it fixes it for you, let us know.
Is everyone getting to this point besides the fatal error? Is everyone getting to this point pretty well? They're able to add, commit, and push.
Oh, wait. Okay. Right. Let me see if I can change that really quick. If not, we can have to move out to fork it first, but give me 1 second. I forgot to check on that. Let's see, manage access. Okay.
Oh, Salman, no, you can just change the index.html and whatever you want. You don't have to use Vim. I thought it'd be nice to have it all in one window, but I realized that I don't know how to yank anymore. So, yeah. So like, yeah, before doing this, you just go and edit something in the repository. And then here, let me get to that point, Amrutha, so we can so I can kind of show you. So yeah, so we'll do git add -- all git commit -m Caitlin or let's say Caitlin's card, and then git push. And so this is hopefully what you're getting, Amrutha. So fatal, the current branch is an upstream branch. This is the command you want. So we'll just say, copy that and.
Okay, I think I see where I made my mistake. So see if you have permission now.
So it's git push set upstream. So that's telling it which branch to use. Origin is a remote, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but it's really not important for super beginners to know kind of what remotes do. But that's what this is. This origin word is the remote. And so that's telling it to push to the origin repository in GitHub. And then Caitlin is my branch. So we're doing git push and setting the upstream branch, which is the branch that I'm pushing to in GitHub, to origin Caitlin, and it will make a branch for me. So I just push and you'll get some stuff, some log output, and then see I made a new branch called Caitlin, push to Caitlin, and set the upstream, the remote, yeah. So okay, is everyone kind of getting to that point? Is anyone able to push? Eek.
Okay, so I'm wondering if I thought I made it public, but I guess I can't make it all the way public. I'm not sure. We might have to fork it and then push, which that should be fine, right? Like if they just fork, okay.
It's just a little more explanation. So, okay, so cool. So, no, and we will talk about why later. So, okay, so see, I pushed because I have access to this. And so what y'all can do if you want is get out your GitHubs. If you don't have one yet, make one. We were going to talk about this a little bit later, but like you can just sign up. I think you can sign up with Google if you want, that sort of thing. Should be pretty quick. And then there should be, let me send this link. And then you'll pick fork here.
Yeah, and will they need to I just thought, will they need to reclone it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you all kind of need to go through all the stuff we were doing before. But hey, repetition is a great way to learn.
Yeah.
So y'all will have to make a new folder, clone into it, and make your change, and then push it and everything like that. And that should be fine. That should be fine for the rest of the workshop.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And yeah, make sure that if you don't want to like rewrite your change, make sure you just like copy that before you go back through. Then I can start. So, oh wait, did you show them where to clone from after they fork?
So after you fork, I did not, but sweet. So after you fork, you will have this button. Just on like your name will be here instead of sweet UTD, but you'll still have this button and you can get that HTTPS that we gave you earlier. You can get that from under this drawer. So that's what you'll put in the clone.
And I'm going to send you guys all of the commands again in order, so hopefully that helps.
I'm just going to take a quick look, see if we can make this public. But
yeah, see, I thought what I did made it public, but I guess it only made cloning it public, but you can check.
Weird.
Yeah.
Strange. Okay. Yes. Well, it'll be great. The forking will pretty much do the same thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
remember
And
how I said earlier that you can use forks like branches? That's kind of what we're doing here.
yeah, so and we can talk, I guess, a little bit more about forking, because if you ever want to make like any kind of open source contribution, you're going to fork the repository. It's a very common thing you want to do with GitHub. Again, it's not a specifically Git feature, but with GitHub, you fork things a lot. Or I know like we had people with our portfolio website workshop a few weeks ago. We had everyone like fork our repository to make changes and have their own copy. So yeah, forking is very common. So look at that. We're learning new things by doing this.
Yes. Yeah, but forking is not something you'll ever do from the command line. That is very specifically a GitHub thing.
Yeah,
Also, I see we have 5 already. See?
oh, right. Wow. Yay. And this is going to make your GitHub profile look pretty. You're going to get some green squares. I love my green squares. If you look at your profile, whenever you have any GitHub activity like forking or committing, or not committing, but once your commits are merged in, they'll show up. So if you put your GitHub on your resume, like it's going to look active. Pretty important. But yeah, if anyone's having any trouble, if you got confused when we went into the forking, like let us know.
Yes, please do.
But
And here, while we're doing this, let's just keep going with the presentation, just to get all the information out there, and then at the end we'll leave time to troubleshoot this more. But like, let's make sure let's finish up the like conceptual information, and then let's get the forking and everything working. So cool. So we have, so we've just done this. And now this is something that we will not, that during the workshop we won't like be doing, but it's very, very important to know how to do this. And you can do this afterwards. So so the way that you get new changes in a GitHub, in a Git repository, is by fetching and merging. So here's the thing about fetching and merging. So until you've used Git a ton, you don't really know what like fetching and merging do independently. That's not super important to know, but you should know that the pull command runs a fetch and a merge at the same time. That's what the pull command does, is it runs a fetch and then it runs a merge. And what the pull command is going to do is it's going to take all of the changes from an upstream branch and pull it into your stuff. And that's kind of where merge conflicts might come in. So you should always, always, always pull before you start working, every single time. Of course, it is possible that while you're working, something gets pushed or merged in, and then you'll have issues later. But to avoid most merge conflicts, pull before you start working. That's the first thing you do when you open your, like when you're getting on the computer and you're opening up your PowerShell, you're about to open up some files. The first thing you do is git pull. And that's what that's doing, is it's getting all of the changes from an upstream branch, from a branch in the cloud on GitHub, something like that, and pulls it into your current project. So you have all the updated changes. And so that's what this will look like, is we have git pull, you have your remote, and for us, you just always put origin here. We can explain a little bit more later, but for now, you just put origin here and then your existing branch name. So that will usually be master. Pulling from master is always a good bet, but sometimes you will pull from your own branch if you are working on something with a bunch of people, or like pull from different branches for different reasons, all of that stuff. So that's what that looks like. And Katie, you want to get into some merge conflicts?
yeah, my favorite thing. So merge conflicts are what happens when, like, I know someone asked about this. What happens if the two code bases you're trying to merge, so it's typically going to be master and your branch, have conflicting information. So let's say like line 21 in the master branch, someone modified that after you had branched off. So then you have differing line 21s, and the code Git doesn't know which one you want to use, right? So to fix merge conflicts, you're going to see some really weird like symbols in your code. Like if you open up your code, especially if you have an IDE, it'll actually point it out to you. But you'll see like a bunch of like, what are those called? Like the less than signs, like
Yeah.
they look like little arrows, and it's gonna say, it's going to basically have two versions of that specific line or lines of code that are in conflict, and it's going to have them kind of separated into two sections, and it's going to say like from master and from like your branch name. So you'll be able to tell which line is from yours and which line is from master. And then you're going to have to decide which line you want to keep. So I mean, that's going to be a case by case basis if you want to keep your own change or masters. So you're going to look and you're going to decide. And then what you're going to do is you're going to delete all of the extra text, all of that weird like symbols and stuff, and only keep the line of code that you want to keep there. So by the end, you're going to delete a bunch of stuff and you're going to be left with the line of code you want to keep. And once you do that, you're going to commit it. You're going to add, commit, do that whole thing. And Git is like really smart. They're going to see that you resolve that merge conflict, and they're going to be like, okay, now you can merge it in. It's pretty like, it might sound kind of difficult, but really like once you see it, I feel like it won't be as confusing because they do make it pretty clear, and that's like this part is from master, this part is from your branch, pick which one. It just might look really scary like your first few times, like, oh no, there's a conflict, what does that mean? And it's not going to let you merge into master until you resolve that conflict. But what you just have to remember is to delete everything except for whichever line of code or lines of code you want to keep.
So that's merge conflicts, and I promise you guys we will probably get into that later. We will see. Might see that in action. But we have this last, I think it's like the last little like thing to know about with Git, and that is the .gitignore file. So .gitignore is really nice because it tells Git to literally ignore some files, or you can do types of files with wildcards. And there's a bunch of reasons to do this, but the biggest one you'll run into is when you're doing web development. A lot of times you'll have credentials for like your AWS or Firebase or whatever that you don't want to have pushed to GitHub. And so you'll have a .gitignore that ignores any files with credentials in it so that they don't get pushed to GitHub. You'll also always ignore your node modules because there's just a lot of files in there you don't want to push up. So like the .gitignore is just a really nice file that like literally you can put in there the name of a file and it will tell Git, do not look at this file. Like this file is not for you. You know, it can be in the repo, but you could tell Git that this file is not for them. So next, let's go into GitHub. So now we're going to talk about some GitHub features. So GitHub is a free service that hosts Git repositories. It's not associated with Git itself. It's a service that uses Git. So you guys have already had a little bit of experience with GitHub now because we forked our project, and that is specifically a GitHub thing. And then GitHub just saves Git repositories. Do you have anything to add, Katie?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good. It's just, I feel like when I was first learning, I definitely didn't fully understand that. I just thought GitHub was Git because that's like all I had heard about in regards to Git. So yeah, Git is very different and it's used in a really wide variety of things. GitHub just happens to be the most popular implementation of Git. But like, I feel like companies don't typically use GitHub. Like, I don't know, I know State Farm uses GitLab. Like
Amazon has an internal one that they use.
So GitHub is more for open source things, I'd say, but once you're in the industry working, you'll probably be using something else. So you don't want to just become familiar with GitHub and its features because there's also other ones out there you're going to have to learn about. But ultimately, having a strong base with Git will teach you to work anywhere. So.
Yeah, so real fast, we'll talk about remotes because remotes are, in our case, saved on GitHub. So a remote is remote away from a local repository. So you have your local files, you have your local code base, and then on GitHub, you'll have, on GitHub in the cloud and whatever you're using, you'll have a remote. And those two things will be connected. So you can, so that's kind of where Git and forks connect. And this is an advanced topic. This is not something we're going to show y'all, but like just so that you know about remotes and what they do. Remotes will let you put multiple Git repositories into one repository with these different remote names. That's really all I'm going to say about it. Because it's confusing. It's something I never used until I went into industry. But just so you know, that's what a remote is it's the version of your repository on the cloud. So you have locals and you have remotes. And that's what that is. So you pull from a remote and you push to it. You'll never do any work on a remote. You'll pull from a remote and you'll push to it. So that's kind of how that will work. And if you want to see the remotes for your repository, you can do git remote-v. And that will just be origin with some URL. But like I said, just remember that by default, your remote is origin. So 9 times out of 10, you can use origin. But just so you heard the name remote before, that's kind of all you need to know about it. So, okay, you want to go into PRs and we can go see. Yeah.
This is going to be the really exciting part of our workshop today, because this is where we're going to actually merge all of our code together. So again, this is a GitHub specific feature. This is not a Git feature. But most implementations using, or most like services that use Git have some version of pull requests. Again, like GitLab uses merge requests, same thing, different term. But this is going to be where you actually merge your branch, or you request to merge your branch into master. So merge is a Git specific thing, but pull request is like an implementation of merging that has like extra features that are really useful for collaboration. So when you open a pull request, you're going to see like a ton of options. So you can like add people to review your pull request. You can like assign it to issues, like connect it to issues. There's like a whole like list of settings on the side you can set. But what's really cool about pull requests is like other people can come in and review those requests. Like obviously companies have that because they don't want one developer saying like this code is ready to go into the master branch. They want multiple people to check over that. Like I know like for my company you need to get, it depends on the code base, but my code base you need 5 approvals from other developers before your code can be merged into master. So like whenever I finish something and want to merge it in, I have to like send out a bunch of emails like, hey, can you look over my code and approve it? So that's why pull requests are really useful, is because before merging, you can have other people look at it. And yeah, that's really the benefit that makes it better than just like a simple git merge. And this is something you're going to want to do from the GitHub website as well, not through the command line. You'll actually, if you look at your branch, you should see a button that says, it's going to say like open merge request or open pull request, or new pull request. So if you click on that, you're going to see those options I talked about, and you can add a comment, you can do a bunch of things, and you'll see that it's pointing to the main branch on GitHub. So if you guys are finished with your branch and want it to be merged in, you can actually open that pull request, and then we can go from there about approving the pull requests. So we already have one. Good job, Amrutha. We see yours. So yeah, so if everyone can open their pull requests if they're there, and then we're going to start. If you go on GitHub, you should be able to see the pull requests. I don't think you guys will be able to approve them yourselves. I think we're gonna have to go in there. But Caitlin, if you want to start taking a look and approving people's pull requests, that'd be really cool.
Yes. So we see Amrutha's here. We can see the changes that she made. And she had a page. I'm excited to open that up.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, just to kind of put in front of your eyes what Katie was talking about. You have here compare and pull requests. And then that will open one of these things. And if you guys want to go around, you probably won't be able to, nice. You probably will not be able, like Katie said, you won't be able to merge them, but please do feel free to leave comments on other people's, like let's make this super interactive. So yeah. So here I'm going to add a comment. This looks great.
And then the other really cool thing, because we're actually hosting our website through GitHub Pages, once your code is merged in, it's going to be available on the web at that link I just sent. Because we're actually using GitHub for our hosting as well. That's a really cool thing GitHub has added. So GitHub really has like the whole development feature because you can merge things in and then you'll be able to see it. Maybe. Let's see.
I think it's just my
kind of takes a
browser
little
not
bit.
updating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to propagate.
Okay, I see it on my end. So
Okay, sweet.
you might have to scroll down because it's gonna like go. Yeah, the way the cards are, once we get like 3, it'll go horizontal, but it's gonna start off vertical. Anyways, I can see her picture. It looks amazing. Let's go to her page. Can't wait for Halloween. Yes, we love it.
I love Halloween.
You might need to like clear your cache.
I know. It seems like that's what we have to do. Okay.
But if you guys click on the link I sent, you'll be able to see it. But it's really cool though that she was able to make that change and then we merged it in and now everyone can see it.
There she is. It's a great picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Look at her complimenting Sweet. She's really But yeah, if anyone is having trouble getting to the point where they're ready for a pull request, let us know. Because we'd love it if multiple people could have their card on our little like Hall of Fame there for the Git workshop.
And by the way, none of this closes after the workshop is over. So if you're not quite done, or if you are done and you want to add more stuff, do it. Like we'll get emails about it. So we'll go merge in whatever you guys want to have merged in. It'll be really fun. Make it a fun little scrapbook.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's see. Changed 4 files.
Ooh.
Ooh. Cool. So at my internship, I don't know if Katie, you had something similar, but we used to say, ship it. That was good.
Oh,
I know. You have one like that?
We're not that like I just get comments from like developers who are like, you need to change this line. I'm like, okay. There's this one guy in particular who always like leaves like he notices like the smallest things. He's like, why'd you do this? I'm like, okay, I'll change it. But it's like helpful though. I mean, obviously like I want my code to be like, as good as possible. So that's really the benefit is that people can. But no one ever like comments nice things. It's always just like change this.
There we go. We got another. Shreya, hello. Wait, someone, I'm not sure.
It's all going vertical. I thought I changed it where it like show up horizontal. I might have to fix it
so far. So maybe we'll jump over here.
Different columns, but I'll fix that at the end. Then we can. But good job, Shreya. Let's go to Shreya's page. Another doggo. Wow. Yes.
I see doggos in my life.
A smart one. Like, look at him coding.
He has a red shirt on.
That's so good. I love that.
Wait, did I say red shirt? Oh my god. Green shirt. That's adorable. Your dog is adorable. Okay, but Salmon really fast. So it says unable to access. Okay, so did you fork your repo and make sure that you put it in another folder so that you can make changes on it and all that stuff? Like, just wanted to figure out like maybe, because it sounds like it says unable to access, which means it sounds like you might still be working on this branch.
I think, have you re-cloned it? I think that might be the problem.
Yeah, you'll need to re-clone it.
I can see that you forked it, but then go into the repository you forked and clone from there. So I can even like send you a link. You have to go like specifically to your version of the repository and clone that. It doesn't look like, I don't see a 4th branch on yours. So if you click on that link, it'll take you specifically to your repository. So do the git clone from there. So yeah, I know I know we should have double checked on that before we had you clone from our version. That was kind of a mistake on our part, but now we know. And hopefully that shows you guys.
This will be great.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to clone from there, and you're gonna have to rerun through everything again. Sorry, but if you're still having trouble, let us know.
Which, by the way, if y'all do want to see this again and maybe see our page expand, we will be doing this workshop at WeHack this weekend. Yes, it's on Sunday at 2 p.m. right?
Sunday, yeah, 2 or 2:30. or maybe ends at 2:30, but yeah, around that time.
Yeah. So we'll be taking all of this in and making sure that we're working around it. So yeah, you want to come see it again, add another card, go for it.
Yep. And again, like these pull requests, I don't know if you guys know about Hacktoberfest, but it's basically an initiative where if you open 4 pull requests on GitHub in the month of October, you get a really sweet free t-shirt from like this just like company. Like this is mine from last year. It's like super cute. Like I love it, Hacktoberfest. And like, but you only get it if you like contribute to certain repositories. And I think ours will count. I tried to make it where it would to like help you guys out, but yeah.
Okay, so let me send real fast before I forget. Let me send the sign in link one more time. Also, I just thought of a good pun, so I'm just going to work it in here super randomly. Let us know if you're having commitment issues.
Nice.
Anyway, go on with what you're saying. Yeah, so I know that we are running over time a little bit, so if anyone has to head off to classes, feel free. Like I said, this does not close after this. Like you guys can come on and do all this stuff after this as well. Add more, make more PRs, all that stuff. All that can happen after this as well. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, and if you guys are having any problems, like, but you want to get that in, you're welcome to message me on anything. Like, we have our sweet Discord. You can find me there. I can even send my
Same.
UTD email. I'll just send it right here. If you guys like want to get that merged in, yeah, like I'll answer your questions there. Because
And
yeah,
we can stick around for a little bit too,
Yeah,
right? Okay. I was like, I can stick around for a little bit. But anyone that does need to leave, that was kind of the end of the stuff that we were learning about today. And so keep working. But if anyone does need to leave, like this is a fine time.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm guessing, like, if you guys are having problems, my guess would be you didn't clone from the version that I'm like, I feel like probably the most common problem we're going to see is like the same one Solomon had with the make sure you clone from your specific repository. So if you're seeing any kind of authentication or permission errors, that's probably what you're dealing with. Because I definitely see like a lot of people forked it, but I'm not sure if they've all cloned their forks. No, the branch could be anything. Whatever my name is already.
Oh, it might be because you already made one earlier. So maybe just do like Salmon 2 or something like that. It does need to be unique amongst repositories.
Yeah.
So it's probably just because you made one earlier and it might be like, oh, you're already using a branch or something like that. So
the other thing, make sure you CD'd into the version you cloned, the latest version you cloned from yours, because you might still be like in the directory of your old one. So just make sure you are in like you probably ran a git clone again, so make sure you're in that directory as well. Okay. But it won't let me type.
Huh.
Wait, do you mean like wait, it lets me type, but it's showing I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Like, do you think he's like stuck in the like the editor? Like, do you think he needs to? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Okay. Yeah. All right, here, let me share my screen one more time. and see if I can get that to happen, because I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I can picture it, but I'm trying to think of exactly what you do to fix it.
Yeah, I think you might just be able to press backspace and then until you get up to the front. Because I think what you did is you picked like you put like a backslash or something at the end or something like that, and it thinks that you're moving on to the next line. Okay. So I think how that'll work is a git clone, not no, what am I doing? Not po, and then if we do like a slash, no, what was it? There's like maybe it's the other slash. There's like a way to make it show up on like a second. Oh, that way. Okay, so you press, yeah, then you can press. Is that what you're talking about? By any chance? Is this kind of issue what you're talking about? Okay, gotcha. Maybe starting over is the move. Sometimes
yeah, maybe I would just try to like reclone it even from, again, your repository. Because you could, my guess is that if you're seeing the branch already existed, you were in the wrong like repository, right? Because like his branch shouldn't already exist if he recloned it, like because he'd be on a different version.
Right. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless you cloned it into the same folder, in which case.
Yeah, that could be.
Then that gets into remote issues.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. The move is to delete like anything, like go into your like file system, like go into your like UI file system, delete everything that says Get It Together, and then just like start over. That's the great thing about Git, guys, is that you can just nuke everything a lot and like it's fine. You know what I mean? And then let's see. Do we have any more pull requests?
No, and like I'm like clicking into people's repositories, and I'm like, I want to open pull requests for them, but I shouldn't do that. But does anyone else like want to make a pull request and they're having trouble?
That would do it. Yep, that would do it. I completely forgot about that thing. You're so right.
Yeah.
Good troubleshooting on your own there.
Oh, and I guess I'm gonna stop recording this because now it's kind of just like debugging time. So
Smart.
Goodbye, people watching the recorded version.
Thanks
for watching.
Subscribe.